All right, it is July 30th. From Justin to Cully. It's taken me a little bit of time to get used to that name, Justin.
I like it.
But you like it?
I like it.
All right, I like it. All right, July 30th, we are back. Wrap-up show for today. Today was a wild one. A lot of phone calls, a lot of madness with the dozen going on right now.
Yeah, I believe this might be the most Barstool guests on in one show.
Yeah, and it just kind of evolved naturally, right? I mean, obviously you want to get Jeff D'Lo on as the creator, commissioner, everything, the dozen, right? So you want to get the background. And then two, Trista is the reason this whole thing came about. So you got to get her side of the story. And then Kirk announces Rico Bosco. And by the way, during the show, I said, should we get Rico on? I think we should get Rico on if you're going to announce him as your new teammate. He says no. And then flash forward, about an hour and a half, we end up talking to him on two separate occasions.
Yeah, which is just insane. And then Big Ev, that whole situation goes on. And
yes.
So it sounds like Kirk's without a second partner now.
So it was happening all in the moment. I'm still even a little confused. You probably are too, because you are the team alternate at the moment. I know what you want to have happen to come out of this situation. I assume you want Rico back with Big Ev. I bet they can, if they're good buddies like Big Ev was describing, I think they can work through these issues. And then you're the alternate right now. You're on the squad if that happens.
I want whatever is best for Team Minahan.
Okay.
If you want me to ride the bench and be the scout player and scout out the teams, I'm more than happy to do that.
So we did see a tweet mid-show as well, and Kirk brought it up. You brought it up. Jack Mack has said it would be a dream to partner up with Kirk Minahan on something like this.
But then he also took shots at Pat, and you can't do that. Pat's the second guy right now.
That's just a savvy play. You're playing both sides here, Justin. This is a savvy play by you to just make sure that somehow you can sneak your way into this squad. You're looking out for Kirk, but also pointing out some things that are going on behind the scenes.
No, not true. I'm just looking out for Team Minahan.
All right, I got you. So either way, it's in limbo right now. We'll find out more. Obviously, it's going to develop through the weekend. It's clearly a huge issue at HQ right now and what's going on. They were talking about it when we called in.
Oh, yeah.
Big Ev was talking to Rico. Literally, I think Kirk did the quick, he did the podium ad, and Rico called into Pick Central while Kirk was doing that ad while we were trying to call. What a fucking clusterfuck that was. But it's obviously the talk of HQ, so we'll see if something comes out of it today. If not, we'll know more by Monday, hopefully.
Yeah, I think by Monday, Kirk said 24 hours Rico and Big Ev have to figure this all out.
Yes.
So
to solve the problem.
We shall see.
Yes, so that was all madness that went on revolving around the dozen, involving the dozen. And before we go too much further, Quantum Reed Chris was in studio today.
I love.
Super nice
Chris.
guy. We were all very chatty before the show today, which I know Kirk loves to hear about. Very nice guy, great on the show. What'd you think of his performance just overall?
He's great. I mean, he's probably the best pop culture person you can have, opposite Kirk. He knows about movies. I think his De Niro question was great.
I have a De Niro question for you.
Sure.
You can only pick, basically not performances, but films. You can either have De Niro's films from the 70s, the 80s, or the 90s. What films? I'd take the 90s, even though he was only nominated, I think, for an Oscar once that entire decade. But I think that's his best grouping of work.
I think he was nominated for Awakenings that decade. That's
right.
it. I mean, that's not a great movie. Well, Goodfellas is in the 90s.
Right. As is Heat.
But the 80s you have...
Casino.
Yeah, I'm okay with Casino. Casino's good. But
I love that movie.
It's great, but that's and Wag the Dog is in the 90s.
Yep. Kind of got the juices flowing. I love Quantum Reed Chris. I don't know if he'd be perfect every week, but I could see him kind of, stepping in whenever, maybe if Carabas never comes back, who knows with that. Wild move taking KMS out of your bio.
Well, it's, and someone called me out on Twitter because KMS, I haven't even thought about my Twitter bio in probably a year and a half or something like that. I don't have KMS in there, so I should put KMS in there, but it's more about putting it in there and then taking it out. So you can, speaking of Jared, I was going to ask you, I don't know if you saw his Twitter bio by any chance.
Let's pretend I didn't for argument's sake.
KMS has been removed from his Twitter bio.
Is that true?
That is true.
Is that really true?
That is true.
What?
Yeah. Unless he took shit. Let me look it up too. This, as of last night, it was removed. Yeah, it's gone.
You might need to make room for that Poppy podcast.
Yes. You can call me out there, whoever did that, but that's the reaction that we're having to it. But I thought Chris did awesome. I thought he's a great fit. He obviously has a good rapport with Kirk. Even his handling of Kirk's story that, the caller called in about his town, and then Kirk's telling a personal story but his handling of that was great. It was a very sad story, a traumatizing story almost, but I thought he was great overall and a really nice guy.
Yeah, I love Chris. I'd love to see him in maybe once a month or once every couple months.
So a reminder reminder to everyone who's watching this on YouTube right now, Kirk will be on Quantum Week this week with Carano and Chris. It is a free episode, so go check that out. If they win you over there, consider subscribing, right? That's the play.
That's right. And I think, speaking about Quantum Week and Matt Carano and all that jazz, big segment of today's show is like the whole Matt Carano leaving his full-time job to go to Jerry's show.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that? I personally, good on Matt. If he wants to commit to something, do it 100%. I saw him tweet out, he retweeted the show and said hey, listen, if I'm going to do this job, I'm going to do it 100%. I'm not going to half-ass it.
Yeah.
So good on him. We'll see how that goes.
Definitely a good mentality to take. They clearly have plans, right? You don't make a move like that without kind of somewhat being able to project your future. So I think, and like I said on the show to Chris, I think he's a smart guy that he knows the risk he's taking. And Jerry's show is a good show. I was talking about it before. I've, just from doing the prep with Jerry's show, I had to listen to some of these other fucking bores in conservative podcast world. And I don't think Jerry gets enough credit for how good of a show he has and how good he is.
I think he gets enough credit.
All right, shut up. All right, so what else happened on the show? From a topic standpoint, it was basically Barstool focus. We touched a little bit on the Scarlett Johansson thing. Not the biggest thing. Oh, we actually got to talk a little porn, that always excites me. I don't know why dry humping came to Kirk's mind when we started talking about that porn topic.
We were talking about kids and...
I haven't thought of the word dry humping in a long time, but is that a thing in the porn world now? Do you know anybody who searches dry humping?
I have no idea.
I searched it on Pornhub and there was a lot of results there. I don't think it's ever something I would search. It wouldn't, it doesn't.
I'll check it out tonight and I'll get back to you on Monday.
Yeah, I might do the same actually, just to see if there's some videos that I'm missing out. And to be honest with you, I'm getting a little lazy with my choices anyway. I just go back to the same ones, which I think the other day.
Dry humping to me is like a junior high teenager was kind of a big deal. Is that gone now?
Dry humping?
Yeah.
No, kids are fucking nowadays.
Yeah,
is that
just
right?
Going straight to it.
I love that Justin acts like he's 14. Let me see here.
I don't act like I'm 14.
See, I just Google searched or searched dry humping on Tube Galore, and there's not any.
Who would search dry humping though? That's not a thing to search.
3,600 things on it, Dave.
Which it's just that's
classic. You like the?
I have a consistent. Yeah, I have a consistent one that I just keep going back to, and so I gotta expand my horizons a little bit more. And maybe dry humping is the play. I don't know. So, all right, besides that was pretty much it. Barstool Focus. We'll keep a watch and follow us on Twitter at Kirkman Show. We'll keep an eye on everything that's going down, update you as it happens. I know we have Menners and VD this weekend, do we not?
We do.
Yep. I got to make sure I throw VD in there. I guess I took shit because I called it the Menners Show.
Menners, who thinks this show is too short.
You told me about this. I must have missed that tweet the other day. I think 8 to 12 minutes is the perfect thing. What are we going to do? We're not doing a talk show here.
Perfect.
Though we did talk before the show. I would love a call-in show where it's just rifle through the calls. You don't need more of us talking about the show unless there's behind the scenes stuff to report.
Yes.
But taking caller after caller after caller, that seems like a good idea. So maybe I told you my shit with nights and kids, it just sucks for my life right now. I'd be willing to do it any off day in the mornings. I'll do calls. So if anybody wants to suggest the time,
we'll figure something out.
Leave comments below on the YouTube video or DM us, whatever you got to do. But that's that. All right, so that's the July 30th episode. What I just interrupted.
I was just going to say also check out cameo.com/KMSJustin.
That's right.
I got the go ahead today to keep the money instead of spending it on the studio.
And you're heating up. I don't know. I mean, obviously we'd love one day to upgrade some of the stuff in here and maybe grow from a separate studio or whatever, but keep the money yourself. Okay. I mean, what do you think you're going to get rich off of it? Go buy yourself a nice dinner. Right? You work hard. Go get some. All right, cameo.com/KMSJustin. Everybody, the show will talk to you again Monday. Justin and I will talk to you again after that. Have a good weekend. July 30th from Justin to Cully. See ya.
Bye.